June 2022, and I'm in a brewery in Kent. Need I say any more? During building works in the 1990s, tools from the Upper Paleolithic and Mesolithic era, dating back over 9,000 years, were discovered in what is today Ashford, Kent. In Roman times, Ashford was the location of two ironworks that processed ore mined in the nearby Weald. The current town was formed around 893 by inhabitants escaping a Danish Viking raid. Its importance as a market town grew, and by 1243 it had been granted a charter to hold a livestock market, around the same time as the parish church of St Mary's was built, replacing an earlier church from the 11th century. But the real growth in the town came with the railways, with Ashford becoming one of the largest railway towns in southern England, the junction for 5 different railway lines, and home to a large railway works that built many of the steam engines for the South Eastern Railway. A lot of the history of the railway and the works is told in the town museum. Nearby, in recognition of the fundraising for the war effort that the town undertook, is a Mark IV tank that was donated to Ashford in 1919. Today, it's the only remaining World War I tank on display outside the museum in the country. Due to the presence of the railway works, Ashford was badly bombed during World War II, with the scars remaining long after the conflict. In fact, one of the last bomb sites was only redeveloped at the end of the 2010s, with the opening of the curious brewery on the site that had been Beaver Road School until it was destroyed by a bomb in 1943. The brew house is named Miss Adams in honour of the school's head teacher, who managed to evacuate all the children before the blast. Today, Curious Brewing offers tours of their facility to see how they create their different brews, along with a generous taste testing afterwards. 10 miles southwest of Ashford and on the edge of the Weald is the town of Tenterden. Originally, when the River Rother was still navigable up to here, the town was a member of the Cinque Ports Confederation and an important wool manufacturing centre. Today, it's the jumping off point for the Kent and East Sussex Railway. A relative latecomer to the railway boom, the line only opened between Roberts Bridge on the Hastings to London line and Tenterden in 1900, and at that time, Tenterden station was over 2 miles away from the town. Services were eventually extended into the town to the current Tenterden Town Station in 1903, with original Tenterden station being renamed Rolvenden on the same day. The line was eventually extended a final time through to Headcorn on the South Eastern Main Line between London and the Channel ports for Ashford in 1905. Loss-making for most of its life, the line was closed to passengers in 1954, barely 50 years after opening, but still continuing to offer some freight services up until 1961. Almost as soon as the railway closed, preservation activities began, and the history of this is told in the museum at Tenterden Town Station. The line reopened in 1974 between Tenterden and Rolvenden, and through further extensions in 1977, 1990 and 2000 to Bodiam. Today, the Heritage Railway runs regular services along the line, and by the end of the 2020s, the line will have been a Heritage Railway for longer than it served as a passenger line. The K&ESR Sussex Railway takes a leisurely 45 minutes to make the journey, the 11.5 miles from Tenterden to Bodiam, stopping along the way at Rolvenden, the original Tenterden station, and terminus for the line when it opened in 1900. Wittersham Road was the next station to reopen in 1977. The line making it back across the Kent-East Sussex border to Northiam in 1990. The final section of the line to reopen in 2000 takes a service on to Bodiam, home to an impressive castle visible from the train as it approaches the station. Today, Bodiam Station is the end of the line, though plans are already in place to extend the line all the way back to the National Rail network at Robertsbridge. A steam train journey is perhaps the most fitting way to arrive in Bodiam, a fairy tale way of travelling to the home of the genesis of the fairy tale castle. If you ask someone to describe a castle, the words most likely to come out are probably battlements, towers and moats, something that Bodiam takes to heart and runs with. Bodiam Castle was originally built in 1385 by Sir Edward Dallenrig, a former knight of Edward III, to defend against a possible French invasion during the 100 Years' War. The castle passed through various hands, ending up on the wrong side of the English Civil War and consequently having the insides of the castle dismantled, perhaps inadvertently leaving the picture-perfect ruin that exists to today. From 1829, work was undertaken to restore the castle by various owners, with the castle eventually passing into the hands of Lord Curzon, the man who'd helped to save Tattersall Castle in Lincolnshire from destruction, and in part helped found the process of heritage protection and bringing ancient monuments into the care of the nation. As with Tattersall Castle, Bodiam passed the National Trust on the death of Lord Curzon in 1925, and it's been under its protection ever since. Today, Bodiam Castle is open to explore, with a walk around the moat, a wander across the drawbridge, and a climb up a tower or two, the quintessential castle experience. Ashford International Station is located on the high-speed line from St Pancras to the Channel Tunnel. Domestic high-speed trains make the journey to London in around 35 minutes, with regular services via the classic lines to London Victoria and London Charing Cross taking around 90 minutes. When services are restored, Ashford International will have occasional Eurostar services to Brussels, Lille and Paris.